Okay, so Gary, thanks for being here. It was a year ago that you spoke at the Marketing Profs Digital Marketing Mixer out in Arizona. I know a lot's been going on for you. Catch us up. What's been happening with you?
Well, first of all, I had an amazing time in Arizona at the Marketing Profs event last year. Actually, one of my highlights, really enjoyed it. Has really made me really enjoy Arizona. Coming on my book tour, Crush It, to Arizona, probably because of that event. So that was a lot of fun. Almost everything has happened since then. You ready for this? I had a child, Misha, first and foremost. That's the real big-ish, thing. That's the real life stuff. So I love her. She's 4 months old. She's amazing. She's everything. But business-wise, my brand has continued to grow. I've launched several things. I launched a consulting company with my brother AJ called Vaynermedia. That's going extremely well. I relaunched a social media wine site called Corked that I purchased, and that's going really well. And I've launched a couple more sites. Gourmet Library, the food version of my wine retail site for gourmet food, which is off to a great start. And another site called Cinderella Wine, which is going extremely well. Very Woot Guilt Group-like, one product a day at a ridiculous price. And then finally, I, in that time, also wrote a book. It's called Crush It, crushitbooks.com.
So why does passion matter in business?
Passion matters in life. That's why it matters in business. Passion is the driver. It's the adrenaline. It's the legal substance that gets you through the days. And so you need it. Without it, you can't win, in my opinion. No big time win has ever happened without it. Go look at the core of the entrepreneur behind it. Apple and Google's and on and on and on. Those are common day things. Walt Disney and Ford and anything. The passion for the leaders, the CEOs, whoever was involved, the backbone of those companies, that was the essence of the victory.
So lots of people in the Marketing Profs audience aren't necessarily entrepreneurs. They're marketers who might be part of a larger company. How do the lessons, or how does your approach apply to them?
I need them to become the voices that become the loud majority within any company to help the company, which is often run by one or two people, to understand where this is going. So I think what it does is the message is the same. Big brands are going to get it. If you're an employee and you love your company, if you care about it, then you need to be that active voice within your building to make it happen. If you don't love that company, you need to work outside hours on what you love while you're still working at that company. You'd love for it to work out there, but if they're not listening, you're going to go out and do it yourself.
So what do you tell folks who say that they can't really be in social media or to do something like Wine Library TV because they're not an uber extrovert like you are?
They have an advantage. I think my extrovert, loud, passion over the top self is actually a negative. I truly believe that if I was 12% more mellow, I'd be much bigger because more people could absorb my content, but I'm too much for people. I think what they need to realize is it's not about being an extrovert or an introvert, it's about being valuable. Content is king, no matter how you deliver it. There's plenty of people that are very shy and quiet that are more profound than me because they have great content. And there's plenty of people that are even louder than me, not a lot. But the ones that are, if they're bringing the thunder, if they got the juice, if they got the chops, they're gonna win too. It's not the messenger, it's the message.
But there are some people who have kind of been inspired, I guess, by what you do. Like I'm thinking about this guy who does this freezer burn TV. Can you talk a little bit about that?
It's great. Freezer Burn was inspired by me. He loves microwavable frozen foods, and started a show that he reviews food products the way I review wine products, and has done extremely successful because he's got passion for it and he's got patience. He's been doing it and doing it and doing it. It's been a slow and steady thing, and I'm very excited for him. And he's another example. I'm another example, and there'll be millions and billions of examples one day.
So was there an aha moment for you wherein you realized the power of social media, as it applies to business? Was there one moment where you were suddenly like, wow, this will really make a difference?
I just kind of knew. I knew from the second I saw my developers playing around with Google and YouTube and WordPress and blogs, this is going to be big. And I just started learning about it. Definitely my aha moment was the first second I saw Zay Frank do a show called The Show. And I watched it for two hundredths of a second and said, that is going to be the game. And so that would be it.
So from your perspective, what do companies need to figure out in this kind of new world of social media? What do they struggle with the most?
Not accepting that they're not in control. And that's the answer, by the way. I don't have to go that deep. They can't wrap their head around that they don't control the platforms. Their money and the platforms they spend in it, like television and newspapers and magazines and billboards and radio, are no longer the voice of our world.
So how do you separate the personal brand from the business brand? How do you suggest that companies approach that, or should they separate them?
I don't, but that works for me. If Steve Jobs doesn't, Vince McMahon didn't, Walt Disney didn't, Sergey and Larry did at some level, right? And definitely brands that are Bank of America has, and Gillette has. So two different ways. There's no right or wrong. The end.
So one of your things is that someday you want to be the owner of the Jets. How much money will that actually take? I was estimating like 900 million, but I don't really know. Is it 900 million, a billion? What would you say?
I mean, they're worth $1 billion too right now. By the time I'm really ready to own them, it would not surprise me if I'm going to have to pony up $3 billion. I better get to work. See ya.
Okay, well, good luck with that.
If you'd like some inspiration on getting people talking about your brand, check out our recent Grapevine series of online seminars for great tips from experts like Emmanuel Rosen, Andy Cernovitz, and more. Visit mprofs.com/grapevine.